Guys, welcome to Live with Kyle and Alex. Alex, how's it going over there for this?
Hey, wonderful of wonderful. Life is great here. I just wish the news was a little better and our world was better. Hey, it is
Actually,
what it
Arizona's
is.
dropped some cases and death throughout their own coronavirus experience here. So I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, hey, yeah, it's moving in the right direction. That's always a good sign.
Always.
Anything going in the right direction is a good sign. Like my dad used to always say, anything on the plus side, if it's a penny, if it's on the plus side and not the minus, it's always good. Because life has its ups and its downs, but we love those ups.
All days and every day.
Yeah, yeah.
Kanye West is still running for president, as well as
Oh,
Trump is trying to stay in office as much as possible, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon.
Kanye West. Okay, come on now. Do we really think, or does he think he has a shot here at president? Uh,
I think it's just a bunch of publicity, to be honest with you.
well, I think it may be one of those money things, like someone else is just want to make money off, but I won't say who that is. It's running. We'll leave that. We'll leave that to one's imagination. But but I think we can imagine.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's kick off the show.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
kick off
excited about tonight,
some musical
buddy.
talent tonight, people. From season 12 of America's Got Talent, we have season in the top 10. Please welcome Miss Evie Clair. Evie, what's going on?
Evie, how you?
Hi.
Hello, hello, hello. Extraordinarily hello. This is Evie. I got to tell you, this is the honest to goodness truth. To have someone like you, I mean, I know this sounds cliche and it's gonna sound like he's just saying this, but I want to assure you, this is the honest to God truth from me to my heart. From my heart, to have someone like you on the show, a young lady, a young person, beautiful girl, and you're talented at a young age. You're how old now? 16?
16.
Yeah, and you know what you want to do at a young age, and you're doing it. This is amazing to me. And I salute you. I love you, and God bless you. It is really a joy to have you on the show. What made you want to audition for America Got Talent?
Well, I auditioned for America's Got Talent actually a lot of times. My mom, she's a musician and she taught me practically everything I know, but specifically about music. She really pushed that for me because she found, from a very small age, I really loved music and I was good at it, and so she taught me everything she knew about music. And I've been auditioning for America's Got Talent and all those types of talent shows since I was probably 6 years old. Just you know, always performing at things ever since I was really small. But it didn't really happen for me until season 12. But I'm glad I made it on when I did because it was awesome.
And you're doing it. It is so amazing. And one thing I think I try to tell people like you who's doing what they want to do at a young age and they're going for is it is totally impossible for you to fail. The only way you fail is if you get off the road to where
I,
you're going, because it is totally impossible. If you stay on the road, it is totally impossible not to get to where the road leads. So stay on that road, especially when you know what you want to do, because you got to get on the road somewhere.
exactly.
You know where you want to go. Why would you get on a road where if you get to the end, you don't want to be there anyway? So get on the road to where you're going and you're there. And I really do salute you. And this is exciting to see someone like you. It really is.
Thank you.
Right.
What got you started in the singing industry?
Um, I just kind of want to say, I mean, I love music. I genuinely really enjoy, writing music, performing, arranging songs. And, there's videos of me when I was 3 and 4 years old playing the piano and making up songs. And so the music industry just kind of was the next place to go, I guess. You know, like you said, it was just my next step on the road, because it was kind of inevitable for me, just because I love music so much and it's what I want to do for my life. Whether people listen to my music or not the rest of my life, I'm still gonna be
moving forward.
Yeah, you're doing what you love. That is great. What are some of the musicians or acts or something that has inspired you?
Well, my mom, my music is a big part of my family. My mom, she's a singer, and she taught music for many years. And her mom was a singer, and her mom's mom was a singer. Like, music just, you know, goes back really far. And my great grandma, I was actually on the radio in the 20s with her sister. And so, you know, it's just kind of something I've always wanted to do. And because of them, they've just kind of inspired me to keep doing what I love to do.
So going to AGT, people may not know you were in season 12 of it. And what are some of the things on America's Got Talent that you don't get to see as a viewer? Any big miscellaneous things?
You know, for me, it was all pretty, I mean, they are a very honest show. Like, there's no behind the scenes, like, trickery that I was involved with or anything. But there were some really neat things that happened to me that, you know, they didn't air, just because, you know, you film for a really long time, and you know, not all of it ends up on TV. But when I was on the second round of the show, I started crying on the stage, like I did on every single round. But I started crying on the stage, and Mel B actually came up. She got out of her chair and she came up onto the stage with a little pack of tissues. And, you know, she covered all of our microphones. She set my microphone down and turned everything off. And she just said, I just wanted to let you know, like, I'm not doing this for TV. Like, no one's telling me to do this or anything. Like, I just really care about you and what you're doing. And, you know, we chatted for a minute, and I got to have really touching experiences and conversations with all the judges behind the scenes, and got to meet them. And I made really good friends with the whole cast and the crew. I loved all the people that I met on my season of America's Got Talent. To this day, when I go back and watch the shows from the later seasons, sometimes the crew who has worked there said never on a season of America's Got Talent in the past or after mine have they seen a cast that has been such like family than mine. Like, we were all super, super close and really tight. And so that was a really awesome experience on the show.
Yeah, because a lot of people, you know, that watch the show and that audition and stuff, you know, they always say, you know, it's about the reviews, it's about the story. They want a story, you know?
Right.
You know, it's just, but I don't know. It's hard to say, you know, it's hard to say if that's really what it's coming out of.
Yeah, I mean, I get that even now. Like, people will still post my audition videos now and say, like I'll go and look at the comments. People don't really think that, like, I would look at comments of things that I'm tagged in, but I do. And I go and look at some of the comments, and they're like, oh, I bet she's faking. Like, oh, they're just doing that for the story or whatever. But, and I get that. I mean, TV is TV, but
Yeah.
I don't know. There is a lot that goes into it. Just other than that, it is actually an awesome show, and there's a lot of really good people involved in it.
Yeah, and I think, you know, some of the people and some of your experiences like that with the tissue, and they coming and they're talking to you, those are things that you will really remember for the rest of your life. And Are there any other little stories like that that you will remember and take away for the rest of your life that you'll be telling your grandchildren? Remember when I was on America, I did this.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
There's plenty of those.
Yeah.
One of my favorites though, on the finale
Mhm.
of the show, it was minutes before the live show was starting, and Simon Cowell called me into his dressing room, and he was talking to me for a little bit, and we were chatting, and he had this bowl of peanuts just sitting on his table,
Mhm.
and before I was leaving, he picked it up and like, was like, "Do you want a peanut?" And I was like, and in this situation, I didn't know what to do, because
Yes.
when someone says, "Do you want a peanut?" You're like, okay, do I like take a little handful? It's gonna be a little awkward. It's gonna like go too slow. Like, if we're gonna be standing here for a second while I try to take some, and then I'm gonna touch some, and they're not gonna end up in my hand. Like, I was freaking out. So I just very carefully grabbed one and ate it. And I was like, thanks. And it was so awkward. But I didn't know what to do.
But isn't that the best peanut you ever ate in your life? Did you ever think eating a peanut would be something you would remember forever?
Right. That's what I'm saying. It was wild. But I walked out, and one of my friends, who was one of the stage crew,
Right.
she's like, "What did he say? Like, what happened?" And I was like, "He gave me a peanut." And she's like, "Oh my gosh, that's so good. He gives food to people that he likes. Like, don't worry, like, that's really good." I was like, okay.
I love that. You see what is exciting is he gave me a peanut.
Yeah, I was like,
oh my God, that is, I'm excited about you eating it. It's just, I love it. Okay, that's great.
With all the costumes, the props, the makeup, the sets, all the stuff they see on the live shows, do you have any say or any say in all that on what you can wear and stuff like that, or do they just pick it out for you and say wear this?
that's actually really I had some really cool experiences with that. Technically, at the beginning of the show, I signed a contract that said, like, I hand over all the creative control to you, like, basically saying, like, I'm like, if you want me to do something, then I'll do it. And so that's what the contract technically said. But throughout the show, they were super awesome. They worked with me 1,000,000%, and they, I have certain dress standards, like, of modesty that I don't, deviate from, and that I've followed my whole life, not just on the show, but they wardrobe was one of the most exciting things for me, being a 13-year-old girl at the time, and thinking about, I'm going to walk into this room and there's going to be a person assigned to me that went shopping for all these clothes that I get to try on and get fitted. Like, it was just like a dream come true. But I went in for the first time, and they were clothes that were just a little too short, or a little too low, so I was just like, oh no, like, how am I gonna tell him I can't wear any of these clothes? And so that was a little interesting experience, and I was like, oh, can we maybe put like some tights under it, or things like that. But at first they're like, are you sure? Like, that's not gonna look very cute. And so it was a little complicated at first, but by the end of the show, like on the last rounds, they were like, oh my gosh, like, I was in the store and I saw the cutest skirt and I thought of you immediately, and then I realized it would probably be a little too short for you, so I got this to go under it and all this stuff. And so they got really, really excited to help me by the end of the show, and it was awesome. They really worked with me. The same idea with the music, and I helped arrange all the songs that I performed, and it was awesome just to actually feel like part of a team, not just like
Right.
here, this is what you're gonna do. It was awesome.
So, do you still keep in touch with any of the contestants, or?
For sure, yeah. Yeah, I talk to most of them a lot, all the time. I've done concerts with Darcy. Well, I talk to Darcy all the time, but I've done concerts with Angelica Hale and Christian Guardino and Ketchy, and I'm really good friends with Preacher Lawson. He's awesome. He was probably one of my best friends on the show. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I still keep in touch with Merrick Hanna, and yeah, there's a lot of people, but yeah, we're all really good friends.
With all the talent shows, America's Got Talent, you have The Voice, you have American Idol. Why and of course they have all singing in them. Why the specific talent show?
Well, I really like the idea of America's Got Talent just because it's very diverse. Like, it's harder for me to how do I explain this? Like, it's like comparing apples to oranges. Like, there's no really way to say who's the best one, but so we were all just kind of there, like, knowing that everyone here is talented and it can go any way, and we all love each other, and it was just a really good time. Like, it didn't really feel like a competition very much. Like, it was obviously people were getting sent home, and it was like really, really sad but it was more of just like oh no, I'm not going to see my friend for a while, more than oh no, I lost the competition, or oh no, they didn't win, So America's Got Talent is really cool in that way, and I don't know if it would have been like that if for American Idol or The Voice or anything, because I haven't been on those shows, so I don't really know.
Sure, yeah.
But I feel like that is something unique about America's Got Talent that you can't really find anywhere else.
Mhm.
So I don't know though.
Sure.
Also, you did an album, didn't you?
I've done a few.
Oh yes. So what albums have you done? I mean, what's the name of your albums?
Well, my first album is called Okay Day.
Mhm.
And I released that, I think, a year after America's Got Talent. I can't really remember. But my most recent one is called Results Take Time, and I released that at the beginning of this year. So you can find I've done singles, and I did a cover album of all love songs called Valentine, and I released that on Valentine's Day of last year, or maybe I can't remember. Anyway, I've done a lot of music, and so you can
basically write your own songs, or do you do a lot of other people's? You cover a lot of songs.
I do cover a lot of songs. On my YouTube channel, that's primarily what I do. I cover songs, but most of my songs released on Spotify and iTunes and Amazon Music, all that good stuff. I wrote myself, and my brother is an amazing lyricist, as well as my little sister, and so
family.
we collaborate on a lot of my music. My most recent single, called Trash, we just released that a few weeks ago, and my brother, he is serving a mission for our church, so he has been gone in Brazil.
Oh, all right.
But since of everything with COVID, he had to come home. And so for that short time that he was home, I was like, okay, sit down at the piano. I got my sister in here, and I was like, we are writing a song while you're home. And so we wrote a song. We all just kind of wrote down something on a piece of paper, each separately, and then came together and made it into a song somehow. And it was a lot of fun, but it's called Trash.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you how you came up with that term trash. That's kind of amazing. I'm glad you said that. That was one of my questions. I was very
Really? Yeah, my brother actually wrote the line in the song "This Trash Is For You," and when he came up with that, we were just like, we didn't really have a title for it because we didn't really know what it was about because we were all just kind of writing our own songs and then putting them together. And then by the end of it, he was like, he came up with that line, and then we showed it to my mom, and she started saying like, "Let me hear the trash song. She started calling it the trash song. And then my little step siblings, when they came and we showed them the song before it was released, they'd be like, "Can we hear the trash song again?" And everyone just started calling it that. So we just kind of had to title
yeah,
it trash.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, for sure.
Yeah, but that one was a lot of fun.
So you're from Florence, Arizona, right?
Correct.
I was in. I was in. I spent a little time in Florence about a month ago,
Yeah.
and I only saw one prison, but I understand you have 5 prisons in Florence, and Florence doesn't seem to be a big town.
Oh no.
So a small town with 5 prisons. Uh, do you know how that came about, or is there a story behind that to your knowledge?
Well, the story that I know is when Arizona was being like founded, like,
Mhm.
organized. They said, okay, we have Phoenix and we have Florence, and one of them we're going to make the capital, and one of them we're going to put all the prisons in. And so, I mean, that's just how it happened. They
Wow.
just, I don't know if they drew straws or, I don't know, rock, paper, scissors, but that's how it happened.
To my knowledge, I would think that's kind of a record or something. I would think, especially, I mean, a huge city. I,
Florence
I
is not that big.
Yeah, but I mean, a huge city, 1 or 2 prisons, yeah, but a small town, I,
Well, when that's all it's meant for, pretty much. I mean, we all got excited a couple years ago when we got our second stoplight.
oh,
Um,
Oh, really?
you are a small town. So,
so I mean, it's pretty much just established for the prisons. We're gonna put most of the prisons there, and then there's a few other ones in Arizona, but yeah, we are the prison
you're
town.
it. I mean,
Yeah.
you haven't had any prison breaks like on in movies and stuff. Oh my God, there's a prison break in that. It's you haven't had any prison breaks to your knowledge, have you?
Um, I I vaguely remember a few years ago we got like a notice that said something about a runaway something,
Mhm.
but they caught him within a
Right.
few hours. So, and we live kind of on the outskirts of town, far away from the prison, so we
Oh,
don't really worry about it too much. But I think it'd be pretty cool.
if it was a prison break.
Well, the show Prison Break is actually my favorite TV show.
Oh, okay.
So I
Dreaming one.
I think it'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that I guess that is a small town. Dream of a prison break.
Yeah.
That I think of Mayberry. So, and Mayberry is a pretty small town, but I don't think they had any prisons. Mayberry is a little older TV show. In case you're 17, you don't. You said you are 17, right? You said 17.
I'm 16.
16. Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't think you would know the show Mayberry and Andy Griffith, but that was a show back in the.
Yeah, I love the Andy Griffith
Oh,
show.
I guess they do have reruns. Duh. They
No,
got they have
well my
reruns.
well my mom loves that. She's listening in the other room, and she's like, "No, we love that show. We love the Andy Griffith show."
That's awesome.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, I watched that all the time when I was little.
yeah, yeah. I actually had the pleasure of working with Andy Griffith, not on Mayberry, but I'm an actor and I did the pilot for Matlock, his TV show.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've had the pleasure of working with him,
That's amazing.
and I grew up watching him, and I'm sitting here doing dialogue with Andy Griffith. I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm talking to Andy Griffith. I'm on camera with Andy Griffith, and that was quite a excitement. I guess it was kind of like a dream of waiting for a prison break. My dream was working with Andy Griffith, But yeah, that was great.
Kind of going back to AGT a little bit. You have an amazing story. You have an inspiring story, about your family, your dad, and all that. When your dad was there before he passed away, did he say anything to you backstage when he was with you side by side each show?
Yeah, the last show that he was actually able to come to was the second round of the show, and that whole experience was a little bit funny. For the results show, they didn't let him in the room. There was no audience or anything when the judges were telling me if I made it to the next round or not. They put my parents in a separate room that was, soundproof, whatever, so they wouldn't know the results until I came out and told them myself. And and as they were like walking him back to put him in the room, he saw some other people come out of the room that had made it through, and so he was like, okay, if they made it through, then Evie definitely made it through. And then someone like opened the stage door as he was walking by, and he saw me on the stage, and he just kind of like peeked in as they were walking by. And Simon was like kind of making it sound like I wasn't going to go through. And then he was like, just kidding, you're going through. And so all my dad heard was, maybe it'd be better if you came back next year. And then they put him in the room. And he was so mad because he thought I hadn't made it through. And my mom was in there with him, and she said he was punching the walls. He was like, this is so stupid. Like, she's so good. Why doesn't she get to go through? Like, this is ridiculous. And then I came out, and of course I was crying because that's all I did on that show was cry. But I was crying, and so he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I went up and I was hugging him, and he was like, what? Tell me what happened. And then I kind of did the same thing. I was telling him what they said, made it sound like I didn't make it through. And then I was like, but yeah, I made it through. And he was like, what? What? And it was really awesome. But then the camera people were like, that was awesome. Now just do another take of running up saying, I made it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with my dad when he was able to be there. He was only there for 2 rounds, but then the next, after I went home, and after that, it was a little bit harder to, leave him at home and go to the show because, you just never really know what's going to happen. But he would not let me be sad about leaving.
Right.
Like, he's like, no, you are going. You are going to do amazing. When America's Got Talent first contacted me and said, you're going to be on the show this season, I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, my dad was just diagnosed with cancer this year, and, I don't think this is going to work out. Maybe next season or something like that. But he was like, no, I'm not going to let you postpone your dreams and say you're not going to do this just for me. You're doing this right now, and I don't care what you have to say about it. You're doing it. And so he was just always kind of like that, and always encouraged me and to keep going, and told me to never give up. He taught me that my whole life, to, in this family, we finish what we start, even if it sucks, even if we don't like it halfway through, we finish what we start. So, I had no choice but to keep going.
Yeah, all right.
How are you doing with the how are you doing with the quarantine? How's the whole virus thing completely shut down entertainment?
I've actually been loving it. I love being home. I love being with my family, and it's been a lot of fun, and yeah, I definitely miss performing and being in front of a crowd and on a stage. But I think there will be plenty of that once all this opens up. It's nice to have a little just break and time with my family and stuff. So
Right. So, what do you have anything planned? I mean, what's next for you after the pandemic? Is it anything on the drawing board for you?
there's a few things.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Yes.
But yeah, there's quite a few things. My first show in person is supposed to be August 1st. I don't know if it's gonna get canceled,
Right.
but it hasn't yet.
Where's that located?
That's gonna be in Ammon, Idaho. So that's a pretty small town in of itself, and they haven't been too bad in cases there, but I don't know how that's gonna go. They yeah, we'll see if that gets canceled or not, but I'm excited. I have lots of things. I've done lots and lots of Zoom meetings, and there's some cool things, doing things I've never done before, trying new stuff, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Cool.
So, where can people find you? I mean, they want to look you up, or your Facebook page, or how can they find you?
My website is evieclair.com, and I think they have a little.
Oh, do we have that there, Eric?
My website is evieclair.com, and you can find all the links for everything there. But my YouTube is Evie Clair, my Instagram is Evie Clair, and everything like that.
No mistake. You got it, Evie Clair. You'll find her. I love it.
Yeah.
Alex, you got any more questions for Miss Evie Clair?
I think I guess the question I'd like to ask is, can you come back? Yeah, I mean, we'd really like to follow up and see how you're doing, and
of course,
and come see us and let us know where you're going. How can we help promote or something? Because you're extremely exciting. I have to say again, I don't want to be a broken record, but you're exciting to me to see a young person that know what they wanted. I know I said it before, but I'm sorry, it's true. I love to see this young talent knowing what they want to do at an early age. I found out I wanted to be an actor at 12 years old, and I know the feeling of it when you're doing what you love to do. So I was there, I've been there, I started at 12. I knew what I wanted to do at 12, and I did it, and I wish it upon you.
Thank you.
God bless you. Go for it. Do it. I'm excited for you. But anyway, thank you and I would really ask you to come back. That's the question I have,
For sure.
Well, Evie, I appreciate being with us today.
Yes.
Be sure if you want, please. All I ask is share with your friends, family, and check it out and stuff over on YouTube and whatnot. Alex, Monday night we have a very special guest. We have a Dizzy on Ice former ice skater going to come on here and talk to us about a couple other things. That's Monday night. So tune in live with Kyle and Alex every Monday and Friday from 7 p.m. Arizona time, Mountain Standard Time, Pacific Standard Time, and that's the show.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much. Good night, folks. Appreciate it. Thank you. All righty.